The sun was slowly setting over the small town of Redstone, Arizona, casting long shadows across the dusty roadside diner. The rumble of motorcycles echoed from a distance, growing louder as a pack of Hell's Angel bikers approached. The locals inside the diner exchanged uneasy glances. Everyone knew when the Angels showed up, things got intense. They weren't troublemakers, but they didn't blend quietly either. Outside, on a worn-out bench near the entrance, sat a little girl, no more than 10. Her face was streaked with tears, her small hands gripping a faded pink backpack like her life depended on it. Her messy brown hair fell into her eyes, but she didn't bother to push it away. Her whole body trembled as she kept her gaze down on the gravel. The bikers rolled in, parking their Harleys like a choreographed show. Leading the group was Briggs, a tall, broad-shouldered man in his late 40s with silver streaks in his beard. His presence alone demanded attention. But today, his steps slowed the moment he spotted the crying girl clutching her bag like a shield. He wasn't used to seeing kids sitting alone outside diners, especially not in tears. Briggs walked toward her, removing his sunglasses and hooking them on his vest. The girl stiffened and pulled the bag even closer, as if he was coming to take it. "Hey, kid," he said in a surprisingly soft voice. "You okay? Where's your folks?" She didn't answer. Instead, she shook her head violently and hugged the bag tighter. Her knuckles turned white. Briggs crouched down, trying not to look intimidating, though his leather jacket, patches, and heavy boots made that nearly impossible. "Look, I'm not gonna hurt you. You look scared. Talk to me." The girl swallowed hard, her voice shaky. "No, no one can take my bag. Not you, not anyone." Briggs frowned. "I'm not trying to take it, I just want to help." But the moment he reached out to gently pat her shoulder, she jerked away and yelled, "Don't touch my bag." The other bikers turned their heads. A few walked closer, curious. People from the diner peeked out the windows, whispering. Briggs raised both hands in surrender. "All right, nobody's taking anything, okay? But tell me what's wrong." She wiped her tears with the back of her hand. "If anyone takes it, he'll find me." Her voice cracked, filled with fear no child should ever know. Briggs asked carefully. She hesitated, then opened her mouth to speak, but a loud truck roared past, startling her. She jumped and clutched the bag even tighter. Briggs noticed something then. The bag wasn't just a school backpack. It looked heavy, bulging oddly as if it carried something more than notebooks or toys. Something important, maybe even dangerous. Briggs's protective instincts kicked in. "Kid, whatever's in that bag, you don't have to protect it alone." Tears streamed down her face again. "You don't understand," she whispered. "If I let it go, everything will get worse." Briggs stood up slowly and called over his shoulder, "Boys, we might have a problem." And the little girl held the bag like her whole world depended on it. Briggs exchanged glances with his biker brothers as they gathered around the trembling girl. Something about her fear didn't sit right with him. He dealt with dangerous men, violent criminals, and desperate situations throughout his years on the road. But the way this little girl held that bag, it was as if she believed the world would fall apart if she let it go. Briggs knelt again. "Sweetheart, what's your name?" "Lily," she whispered, barely audible. "All right, Lily," he said gently. "I'm Briggs. We ain't here to scare you. We want to help, but you gotta trust me." Her eyes darted nervously from one biker to another. Big men, leather jackets, loud boots, everything a scared child would run from. But for the first time, she didn't pull away. Instead, she took a shaky breath. "You won't give my bag to him, right?" "Him who?" Briggs asked calmly. "My mom's boyfriend, Carl." Her voice trembled. "He said if I told anyone he'd hurt her, he'd hurt me. He said the bag belongs to him, but it doesn't, it's proof." That's what Mom whispered before he dragged her away. A heavy silence fell. Briggs's jaw tightened. His brothers stiffened. They'd all seen men like Carl, the kind who preyed on the weak, hid behind fear, and thought they could get away with anything. "What kind of proof, Lily?" Briggs asked carefully. She hesitated, then slowly unzipped the bag. The bikers leaned in. At first, Briggs expected money, maybe something dangerous like a weapon, but none of them were prepared for what spilled halfway into the open. Stacks of cash, photograph, a blood-stained phone, documents with forged signatures, drug ledgers. Briggs's eyes widened. "What the hell?" One of the bikers, Hawk, let out a sharp whistle. "This is cartel-level evidence." But Lily wasn't done. She pulled out one last item, her voice breaking as she held it up. "A video, Mom recorded it. She said it proves everything Carl did. She told me to run, to find someone strong, someone who wouldn't be scared of him." Briggs felt his chest tighten. Lily looked up at him with wet eyes. "I thought bikers were the bravest people. That's why I waited here for someone like you." For the first time in years, Briggs felt himself choke up. He reached out slowly. "Kid, you did the right thing." Just then, tires screeched in the distance. A black pickup truck turned sharply into the parking lot. Lily gasped and slammed the bag shut. "It's him," she cried. Briggs stood in one explosive motion. Hawk and the rest formed a wall around the girl instinctively. Carl jumped out of the truck, wild-eyed, shouting, "Where is she? Give me the bag." Briggs stepped forward, towering. "You're not touching her or that bag." Carl reached into his waistband. But before he could pull anything, 20 Hell's Angels moved as one. Briggs disarmed him, slammed him to the ground, and pinned him until the sheriff arrived minutes later. Lily, shaking, ran into Briggs's arms. "You're safe now," he whispered. "Your family now."